And look out, there's a plane behind you. Ah! Duck!
A beautiful plane.
It's a beautiful plane at that. PaxNews.com on location at the International Center here in Mississauga. We are at WestJet's annual Trade Expo, and we are sitting here with Jane Clementino, Director of Agency Sales at WestJet. How are you doing, Jane?
Good, Michael. And it's our fifth year of our Trade Expos, and thank you very much for covering it.
Oh my God, it's our pleasure. Let's go to that. 5 years of doing this.
Yes.
How has this expo grown, and what does it mean to the travel agent community at large?
So every year it's growing. Last year we did 32 expos, some smaller, some larger. This year we expect to do about 25 or 30 again. So, we have about 4,500 agents that we touch every year with our story and make sure they know how much we care about them. It's great to see the number of vendors, and every year we have more and more vendors. We handpick the agents, so if you get an invite, it's because you're a producer.
There's a lot of suppliers here. This is really the who's who of who's who of who's who.
Here, yep, over 70.
Yeah, lots of people here. Let's talk about the WestJet story. I mean, this is, I think, a whole new chapter with the Dreamliner unveiling. Tell us where it's going.
I call it the Love Where You're Going series. And where it's going is that we're going to be an international, it's in 11 days. We start flying our 787 with 3 classes of service, and we're going to be an international networked airline. It changes significantly what we're looking for, types of travelers we're catering to. We've gone through a segmentation process and really starting to focus on the road warrior. And that changes that guest experience, and we're looking at the guest journey, making sure that we hit all of the requirements to have a business traveler on our plane.
You look at the evolution of WestJet, you've really gone from low-cost carrier to luxury airliner in many ways.
That's right, exactly right. And with our 2x2 changing in all our other planes, you'll see that change because that's what the traveler wants.
Talking about tonight, what are some of the discussions you want to be having with some of the attendees that are here?
I just want to make sure they understand that the agency community is still a huge focus for us, and that as we continue to grow, they're going to become more and more important on our international investments. Our JV with Delta, which should be hopefully by the summer, we get to announce the post ATI. That's just the start of our JVs. We see that there's going to be more JVs with the international carriers such as Air France, KLM, and also Delta for transatlantic. So that allows us to compete on all fronts. So that allows us to be a challenger. And that's part of what we're going to tell everybody today is we're going to challenge the other guys, and we're going to have all the tools to do so, and we're going to do it a little differently.
You're in the big leagues now.
We're in the big leagues, exactly.
Now, it's exciting for WestJet with all these new announcements, but looking back on the past few months, it's been a really tough time for a lot of airlines, and I'm referring to the Boeing 737 MAX 8 groundings. How is WestJet doing on that front?
No, we're doing very well. We had 13 planes, of course, to 8% of our capacity, but we only had to kind of juggle about 10 different flights a day. So considering it impacted about 70 flights a day, we did really well with maneuvering schedules around and frequency, and so we aren't impacting as many guests as we expected, which is great. And people said we've done it really well, a really great job of it, because we were informing them of what's happening, and we did a lot of communication. We made sure that the guest was top of mind, and we did lots of advanced communication, so people weren't questioning what was happening next. Try to get ahead of it.
Is there any other fallout that could come with that? Increase, ticket prices or availability?
No, I think overall we see ticket prices are up a little bit this year because they had to be, right? So we had our first loss in 13 years last year, in Q2. And so, prices just had to come up. I think all airlines would agree that with fuel costs and all the other expenses, you just have to have a little bit more margin. So we see ticket prices up a little bit this year, but again, within reason.
When will those planes start flying again? Do you have any indication?
We don't. There is some early talks about them flying again. Obviously going through different regulatory changes and all the other steps you'd have to take to make sure that the consumer would feel safe again.
What do you want the takeaway to be from tonight? What do you want agents to be thinking about and how they can move forward with WestJet?
So I want them to think about the fact that we are changing, but we're staying the same. We're still fun, we're still kind, and we're still caring. And we're going to continue to have that human touch and bring that human touch into travel every time that you travel with us.
Excellent.
And we care about them as well.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. And look out, there's a plane behind you. Ah! duck.
Beautiful plane.
It's a beautiful plane at that. Thank you so much, Jane.
Thanks, Michael.